Bam, right there. We got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, we're going to talk about raving referrals today. Troy, what do you think about
Ooh.
that?
Hey, as a man who's lived off of it for 10 years myself in the industry, I'm so thankful for the topic.
Hey, well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me. We have a lot of good strategic partners in the marketplace, but I would say that CINC is one of our most critical relationships that of all the people that we work with that provide great solutions to our high performing agents and teams and brokerages. CINC is a consistent A player as a partner. And I just want you to know how much we appreciate our relationship with you and all you do for our clients out there. So thank you for having me. And I promise to bring my A game today.
I know you will, brother. Thank you for saying that.
And so as we get started today, Brandon Barnum, Brandon, if you'll wave at everybody, Brandon Barnum, who's on the call with us, he and I just wrote a book. And the book is called Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. And it launched last Wednesday and became a #1 bestseller. It was a unbelievable new way of looking at the real estate market. I'm going to talk about what it means to really build a referral-based business. I'm going to also tell you that most of you that think you have a great referral-based business probably have squat, and I'm going to make you feel bad, and then I'm going to teach you how to get it back. So I'm going to go through that whole emotional ups and downs. Hope you're okay with that. But I would like to just make a special offer today, and I've never done this on a webinar before because I never had a book. But for anybody who would like a free copy of Raving Referrals for Real Estate, assigned by me and personalized to you, if you'll schedule a coaching consultation in March, and you can go to this QR code, schedule a coaching consultation. You can talk with Nate or Dan, one of my 18 strategists that will look at your business, see where you are, and see how we can help you. We'll send you a free copy of the book just for showing up and attending a strategy session. So that's my give in the very beginning, and I'd love to send out 100 of those. So I'd love to send out 100 free copies of the book for attending your strategy session. So I look forward to you doing that. Let's jump into this. So I believe that we are in a world where we need to create what I call as a referral revolution, that a lot of people think they have a referral business. It was really interesting. And Brandon, you can smile with me as we talk about this, but we're at this convention last week, and I asked the group, how many of you have a referral business? And everybody raises their hand. Oh, it's almost all referrals. And then I said, okay, so how many referrals are you getting out of your database? And the biggest number I got was 12. And I said, 12. Okay. So you're getting 12 closed deals out of your database. How many people in your database? She said 1,100. Well, I know that about 10% of your database moves every year. That means she should have done around 100 units, not 12. I want you to think about the lost income that happens in your database by not having a strategy to revolutionize the relationships you have and to activate that database. And so I'm going to talk today about not only what we talk about in the book, but also the importance of activating your database and how to do it. I'm going to give you some really cool tools and resources to be able to make that happen. I don't know if you know this, but people are more than 400% likely to buy from you when they're referred. Like 400%. We spent all this time and money going after paying leads for strangers, and if all we did is just work the database we have, they're more likely to do it. 90% of people trust recommendations from people they know, and referred clients are 16% more profitable than non-referred clients. Well, duh, that's because your cost of lead is zero. Like, we spend so much money buying leads. Like when I see people that are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on Zillow leads, I want to smack them upside the head and say, how about we just stop losing money in your database before you go out and buy leads from everybody else? And I really do mean that. And like, this is a CINC event. CINC, #1, their first thing is they are a CRM. They are at the middle of the relationship first. And then when we've activated your database and your relationships, then we can turn on additional lead sources. But I don't think you should turn on and spend a bunch of money on lead sources until you actually activate your database and have them giving you all of the leads that are in your database. Do you agree with that, Troy?
Love it. I mean, it's I always subscribe to #1. Make sure you're working your CRM right. Similar to folks don't really, they may say that referrals were running their business, but they're not actually running a business through it. And kind of fine honing the skills of your CRM will let you know truly where your business is coming from. But I am partial to always feeding the database too,
Well,
because
so
had the business growing.
I'm going to teach
But
a concept here today where we have to work our database, but we always have to add new people into the database as
yep,
well. And so it's
yep,
not an or, it's an and. We're
yes, sir.
constantly working our database, and we're always looking. I'm going to give you a system today to actually do that. Because we don't have enough time to go through the whole book, what I'd like to talk about today is the 7 laws of raving referrals, right from the Raving Referrals book. And so I'm going to go and talk about what it means to build a database using the 7 laws of raving referrals. So the first one is that every meaningful relationship begins with trust. Trust is the middle of everything. Building relationships with trust. I call it BRT. And that's where we do our research on our client. We find out who they are. We have an initial contact where we get to break the ice. You'll learn about a concept in the book called BANK, B-A-N-K, for breaking the code of developing relationships, understanding their profiles so that you can communicate in a way that is the highest level of respect to them. We won't get into that in a lot of detail today, maybe in a future webinar. And then we're going to talk about SRO. That's one of my favorite concepts of building relationships. That stands for serve regardless of opportunity. We show up and we give. And then we message to them, and according to where they are in the process, we meet them where they are. We don't talk people into buying and selling houses. We meet people where they are and we serve them, regardless of whether or not they use us. We get face-to-face, we follow up, we close. We then onboard them as a client. If they don't become a client, we follow up with them until they buy or tell us to die. And I'm going to give you the ABCs of lead conversion and how we do that. So that whole process is built on building relationships with trust. So let's get into number 2. So number 1 is trust is the core foundation of everything we do. Without trust, you're just another salesperson with a pitch. When you build the relationship of trust, now you have a meaningful interaction with everybody you come in contact with. And this is where we get into the more you give, the more you receive. I'm a big Zig Ziglar fan, and I heard Zig Ziglar when I was in high school. He's what made me want to be a motivational speaker, Troy. And he said to me, I remember him saying, you got to prime the pump and you got to keep it going. You got to constantly be priming the pump. And pretty soon people get going. He says, you want to be a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? I remember Zig saying it just like that. I was like, I want to be meaningful and I want to be specific. And then he says, if you give enough people what they want in your life, you'll always have everything you want in your life. I love that. If you give enough people what they want, you'll always get what you want. And I really do believe that. And that's why we came into serve regardless of opportunity. I'm going to make some people a little bit uncomfortable right now. I have to tell you all that I'm a big fan of people like Brian Buffini. I love Brian Buffini. I think he's one of the good guys in the industry. Anybody else have done 100 Days to Greatness or been with Brian Buffini? I'm a fan of Brian Buffini. However, I believe that the market has changed and that the interactions we have with our clients have to be elevated, that we've moved from a just show up to actually showing up and positioning yourself as an expert to help people navigate through these perilous waters called real estate. And that what I think about who I want to be in the eyes of the consumer is I want to be a trusted advisor, not the guy who pops by with a jar of jam. I want to be the guy who pops by, but really gives them something that helps them with their most important financial asset. And I want to be able to talk to them about the hardest decision they make. Should I buy or not buy? Should I sell or not sell? Are people still putting the house on the market, even though there's tariffs that are going on? Like there's all this crap going on in the world right now. And when you have uncertainty, it causes people to withdraw, even though they have life events that occur that cause them to move. I want to be the trusted advisor, the expert that serves them by providing options to them. Here's a challenge. I want you all to become options dealers, where we show up and we deal in options. Here are your options. And then I want my clients to be the most educated, the highest level of educated in any transaction. So whatever decision they make, that comes from a place of knowledge and strength. And we can't do that by sending stupid recipe cards. We have to give them information that moves the needle, that really gives them and positions us as experts. So I'm going to, that's my soapbox right now. Troy, I know you laughed at that.
I thought time change is coming up, and I swear if I get a million emails that reminds me to set my clock, but it's like, I get it, clock's doing it. So,
I was on a podcast the other day, and somebody reminded me of a story I used to tell. And it's a true story. It's like, I'm a scoutmaster in the neighborhood. I've got 2 of my neighbor kids in my scout troop. I take them camping. I spend a week with them in the mountains. I teach them trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I'm developing them. Their mother gets divorced, and she loves that I'm a positive influence on their boys. And then one day I noticed a for sale sign go up in their yard listing with somebody else. It's my
Oh,
freaking
wow.
next door neighbor. I went over to her and I said, "What in the crap is going on?" And she says, "Oh, I didn't know that you wanted to list my house."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mm.
"Okay, whose fault is that?"
Yep.
Like, really,
Yep.
whose fault is it? And then I looked on her fridge and she had a stupid recipe card of like orange peel ice cream. Like, who's going to peel an orange on their ice cream? Just give me the spoon. Like, I'm not peeling the orange. And then I thought about that. Everything works, but nothing doesn't. That's been the market we've been in. Today, the market we're in is we've gone from an activity-based market where everything works but nothing doesn't to a skills-based market where we have to provide a higher level of communication and skills. So while that worked back in the day, it still might work a little bit today, but I choose to go a different direction. And so that was funny that I told that story and then someone reminded me of that. Hey, don't be dogging recipe cards. Your neighbor's listed with somebody else. I'm like, you suck. Why did you remind me of that? So this is a great thing. This is called a shift module. So one of the things that we give our clients, I'm going to give all of you the ability to download these. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 shift modules today. And a shift module is we look at threats in the marketplace, and then we come up with a story around the threat that I want you to read out loud with your team. And then we give you a tool or a resource, and then we give you a script to be able to help your clients move forward. So this first one is called The River of Real Estate, and it basically talks about a young agent who is trying to help people understand whether or not they should list or sell their house in a market where there's challenges. And it talks about why people move and how to calculate how many people in your market are going to move this year. You see, people don't move because of their realtor. They don't move because of interest rates. They don't move because of tariffs. They move because they get married, they get divorced, they have babies, the babies move in, the babies move out, they upsize, they downsize, they lose their job, they get a job, they get transferred. And this river of real estate continues to flow regardless of what's going on in the economy. And so we as real estate agents have to be able to position our clients to understand that there's going to be a number of people that move anyway. And do you want your house to be positioned in the river of real estate? And so we have to market it accordingly. That's a really good one. This is another one where properties are staying more on the market today. Troy, this is one of my fun ones. This is called the Verified Contingency Sell Program, and we have a checklist for both the buyer side and for the listing side. So when I go to a listing presentation, I say, before we accept a contingent offer, one of the things that I offer as part of my standard services is we have a verified contingency sell system. So if an offer comes in that's contingent but not another property, I have a checklist of all the things that we're going to have them go through to qualify that offer as someone that's likely to get that property sold or not. And then you have the decision whether or not, because we've gone through the verified contingency sell system, to determine whether or not you want to put your accept the contingent offer. And on the other side, when I'm representing the buyer, and now we have to get justification for getting a buyer contract signed, is we've got to sell your house before you buy another house. Well, I've got a verified contingency sell system. I give it proprietary language. I name my system, and then I say I have an exclusive verified contingency sell system. So when I present your offer, this contingent upon being sold, I've gone through and checked off all the things that a seller's going to want to know, so they're more likely to accept the contingent sale. Think about that. It's like brilliant. And then we give you a script, and then we give you a dialogue, and we give you an assignment, and we give you the ability to figure out how to actually present these. And these are game changing because now we're giving things to our clients that are different. It's not about me getting something for myself. It's about me giving you options so that you can choose whether or not to move forward. Because what kind of a dealer am I?
Options dealer.
I'm an options dealer. That's right. Okay, here, I'll give you one more. The other one's called the stop, drop, and save system. And a lot of people have been hesitant to buy a property because of interest rates being high. And there's things that we can do with variable rate interest, with buy downs and things like that, where if we put in what the purchase price is today, we look at where appreciation is, we look at what the long term is, what the actual cost of moving forward today than it is of waiting. And so you fill out the orange areas, and then it calculates. In this particular case, the client saves $18,000 over the next 5 years by buying today instead of waiting to buy till interest rates drop. And it's called the stop, drop, and save. So when someone says, oh, I don't know if I should wait, you should say, well, I don't know if you should either, but why don't we do the math? And I pull up my calculator and I break down, here's some options we have. What if we were to buy the interest rate down? This is what it would look like. Here's how we get into it. This is what the new rate would look like. This is what your total savings would be like in year 2, year 3, and year 4. And the client can then do what? Make a decision based on us giving them. If you don't say options, I'm going to lose my mind.
Hey, I've never been this good at school, so knowing the answer is kind of nervous for me. But options, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna give them options. Okay, so for everybody that would like just a copy of this of the 3-shift modules, I'm gonna give these to you. You simply go right here to this QR code. You'll tell me who you are. I'm gonna put you in a system, and we're gonna follow up with you until you buy or tell us to die. No, I'm just kidding about that. But we are gonna see if there's an opportunity for us to work together. But download it and then sign up for a free coaching consult. Get a free signed copy of the book. Okay, so number 1 is relationships are everything. Number 2 is we serve regardless of opportunity. I'm going to give you tools and resources that you give. We've got 18 of these shift modules. All our coaching clients have access to them. Every month they talk about new ones. It gives you a reason to call your clients and give them more options. Number 3 is relationships trigger transactions. And so what are you doing to develop deeper and meaningful relationships? And I'm going to give you a couple of systems that are available when you get the book and download the tools and the resources. The first one is a program called our Top 50 program, and it's called 8651. I want you to listen to this, Troy. It's how to close 86 transactions a year, working with 50 people 1 hour a day. Is there anybody on this call that would like to close 86 deals a year with zero cost lead generation? Anybody interested? I'm going to my chat. I want to see the love. Okay, Diana's in. All right, Joy's in. Stacy's in. There we go. Joy's in. Yep.
I wasn't great at math, bro, so I'm too busy thinking the 86 to 50.
86 deals a year working with just 50 people.
50 people, yeah.
It's 50 people. And so I'm going to teach you the system. Here's how the system works. It works like this. I have you make a list of the top 50 people in your life that are most likely to give you 1 referral a year. And then every month, we're going to have 1 personal touch with all 50 of them. A personal touch is a conversation. It's an interaction. And then I'm telling you that nobody teaches this better than Brandon, but we teach how you got to activate the database. And the way you activate the database is you say, look, I'm going to provide you with 5-star level service if I haven't already. And when I give you 5-star level service, are you comfortable with me reaching out to you and asking you for a referral? Is that a hard thing to say?
No, sir.
Right. If I don't provide 5-star, then I don't get to ask. I need permission to ask. And then they say, you already have my permission. I say, great, you're going on my top 50 list. All I'm doing is count on 1 a year from you. You have 50 people that know they're going to give you 1 referral a year or more. And every month you're having a conversation with them. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have 10 that give you 5. You're going to have a whole bunch that give you 2 or 3. You're going to have some that don't give you any. And at the end of the year, we're going to release them. And we're going to replace them with 50 people that do give you a minimum of 1 referral a year. There is an entire system around this, and we'll give it to you. Okay. The next thing is this, here's your question. Do you have a list of top 50 people that are giving you a minimum of 1 referral a year? If the answer is no, then we need to build it. Do they know that you expect at least 1 referral a year from them? Do they know it? Chris, if they don't know it, then they're not activated. You're practicing secret agency. Just because you know them doesn't mean they know you want referrals. We are going to engage them and teach them how to give us referrals. And then do I contact them once a month with a personal contact? And that is anything except a text message or an email. I want you to have a face-to-face conversation. Here, you want some dialogue? Try this. Sup? I'm just kidding. Have some fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's like, what's up? How you guys doing? How's your family? How are the kids? Like, what's going on in your life? I was thinking about you the other day, and I thought this is something you might be able to benefit from. And remember, I shared with you that I might from time to time ask you who you got. I want to know, who do you got? I love that question. Who do you got? It's time for me to get on the phone and talk about that with them. Okay, so we got to do it. Next question is this. Now, I want everybody to go into your database and answer this. Many of you are CINC users, many of you are Workman Success clients. Are you currently closing 80 or deals or more a year from your database? I'm going to wait. Hey, Tom, thank you for answering. Seth, thank you. Okay. Raj says, nope, not even close.
Okay. Bro, you're going on my top 50 list, just for the record.
That's right, brother. I'll be on your top 50. You're on mine.
Yeah, love it. I love how y'all broken it down.
Actually, you're on Nate's because you take him golfing, but
yeah.
Different story. And so, look, we have everybody on the call. No one's saying that they're getting 80 deals a year from their list. So I'm going to say something to you that is probably Probably not comfortable, but listen to me. I've got a lot of clients who are. And until you're getting 80 deals more from your database, stop doing what you're currently doing and do it my way, because my way works. Greatness is predictable, and so is average. And if I look at what you're doing with your database and I see the results that you're getting, it's because you're doing it your way. And now I'm not saying your way's bad. It's got you exactly where you are. But if you want to grow, if you want to double, or if you want to triple, or you want to quadruple your income, follow the proven system and just do it my way. And when you're doing 80 deals, I'll tell stories about you. How's that sound? And so let's get you there first. Is that a hard thing? 80 deals. Okay, just do it my way. How many of you are really coachable? Like, are you serious? Like, are you really coachable? People ask me all the time, who do you coach? I'm like, my question is I want to coach people who are hungry and humble and teachable, that are willing to say, just put me in, coach. I'll follow your direction. That's exactly what we're talking about today. We got to engage our top 50. Do you work open houses on steroids? Is every one of your listing turning into 1.5 buy-side closings? Do you market to your database whenever you have a new buyer? Do you engage your database to let them know that I've got people looking for a house like yours? CINC has so many tools and so many resources, so many of connecting people and property, but you don't even activate and turn it on. And I think that we have to become A players in working with our database. So we're going to engage our top 50. You know, when you talk about people who are coachable, I met Christy Buck in Texas, and Troy, we're going to talk about her later, you and I personally. Christy Buck, you know, it was really interesting when she talks about gaining referrals. I remember Christy talking to me about asking for referrals. People are afraid to ask. She was buying a brand new Range Rover. You spent over $100,000 on a vehicle, and she got down there negotiating. And she says, one last thing: if I sign this deal before I leave here, I want one referral from at least one of the leadership team. How about that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, not only did she get a referral, she got $1 million home from the sales manager. She got multiple deals from the GM and other people in there. I think she did over $1 million in commissions just out of this dealership because she asked for it. And it way more than paid for her entire Range Rover just in referrals because she asked the question. Christy's a client who started coaching with me in 2012. We helped her grow her business from 250,000 GCI to over 3.4 million gross and then $1 million net. Christy is a great example of someone who follows coaching advice and actually does the work. The next program I'll teach you is this simple, and this comes right down to adding new people to your database. What if all you did was this? I'm going to give you a 7-figure business as easy as 3211. And that is every day starting today, I want you to call 3 past clients. Pick up the phone, call them. See how they're doing, how their family is. Use the Ford dialogue. I want you to prospect or use your automated lead generation to identify and find 2 new people who will list or buy in the next 12 months. That's where CINC becomes a valuable partner. Just 2 a day. That's it. Can we do that, Troy? Is that reasonable?
That sounds great. And I love even starting with the 3 past clients. So many people get afraid. What if they catch them in a bad mood or there's a fire they got to put out? I'm like, if you do that, they become a Raving fan. Like, I mean, It's a great opportunity to, make them your hugest asset.
Hey, ask the hard question. What if they say, don't ever call me, you psycho? Why are you calling me? Don't call me. What if they say that? Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Take them off your list. They don't call them anymore. They're not going to use you anyway. And if you say, yeah, but it's my mom, say, I can't help you with that. But take them off your list. Just take them off your list. You don't have to be that serious about it. Like, the problem is we have so few clients that we run around with our few deals. We're afraid to lose somebody. You've already lost them. They're gone. So forget about it. If you can't pick up the phone and call them and see how they're doing and ask how I can serve you, they don't belong in your database. Call them every day, 3 past clients. And then we prospect, we hunt. Your job is business development and people development. We look for new people every day. We add 2 to our database every day. And then I want you to learn one new thing. I want you to become a power user of CINC. I want you to go and do CINC University. I want you to be involved in their masterminds. I want you to listen to the calls. And then when you learn something new, I want you to actually do it, not just learn it and say, oh, that's a good concept. I want you to learn it. I want you to do it. I want you to implement it, create a system around it, and just go. So we're going to go 3 past clients. We're going to do 2 new customers. We're going to learn 1 new thing. And then every single week out of your business, without any strings attached, I want to find someone that you can just give a referral to. No strings attached. You don't have to want anything in return. I just want to give somebody to you. It could be a great sushi restaurant or someone that does nails, or refer someone that does your Botox if that's helping you. Like, whatever it is, I want you to refer one outbound client. Jillian, isn't it a great concept to think about being able to give referrals and not expect anything back? Isn't that a cool thing? Like, I love the concept of serving without expecting anything back in return. Jillian's giving me the big nod, trying to find her unmute button, but it's okay, Jillian. 2 thumbs up works.
She gave you 100%.
I found my
Jillian's
mute button.
there you are. Jillian's a rock star up in Ontario that does luxury real estate. It's so fun to watch her be engaged and fired up and moving forward. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, 1s. Everybody committed to this? How many of you think that if you actually did the 3, 2, 1, 1s in your business every day for 30 days, you'd probably sell more real estate as a result? Vanessa
For sure.
says yes. Savannah says yes. Okay. All right. Okay. I love everybody saying yes, they would do it. How many of you are actually going to? Savannah says me and Vanessa says me. I love that you say that. And I think that your word is your bond with everybody except yourself, and that we have to change and start having integrity with ourselves. And when you make a commitment, you keep the commitment you make to yourself. And Misty, if you don't have any past clients yet, that's okay. You turn the 3 past clients into 5 new prospects because you don't have anyone to call. All you do is just change it from 2 new prospects to 5 new prospects. I mean, you don't have any clients. What the hell are you doing all day? Get up and prospect every day and add 5 new people into your database every day. That's how you make money in this business. We go hunting. We hunt. We go after it. If you don't have any clients, go to the mall and open the door for people and say, hi, welcome. You guys want to buy or sell a house? Like, find activities where you're going to meet people, introduce them to your database, and go see people face to face. My guess, Misty, is that people like you and connect with you. You just have to see more of them. So find out where people are and go there. That's my goal. And I love that you have 3 listings already, because listings is where the money is made. Let me introduce you to Nick Paynes. Real quick story about Nick. Nick's a rock star. Nick was really interesting. Nick has a very, very strong background in investment real estate. And, you know, he's gone from selling 20 houses a year to he's a 7-figure income earner now with the Diamond Award at RE/MAX, which is kind of cool. But one of Nick's favorite stories he talks about in the book is that he received a referral from an agent who was struggling to get a particular type of property sold. And they referred it to Nick, and Nick took the property, sold it in under 10 days, built a great relationship with the seller who happened to be a major builder and a CEO in getting new listings. And over the next 2 years, listed and sold over 20 homes without a single referral from an agent. Developing great relationships with other agents inside and outside your market is critical in building a referral-based business. I want you to think about this. What if you had a top 50 list of the top 50 people in your life that are most likely to give you referrals? But what if you had another top 50 list of just the top 50 agents who are in markets that are moving people into your area, and a top 50 people that you could refer people out of that are moving out of your area? I mean, if I lived in Ontario and it's cold in the winter, I would look at the warm markets in the US and I would develop relationships with those agents who sell luxury properties in those areas. I guarantee you Jillian already does that. And the referral business that goes back and forth are huge. You build relationships of trust. It's been fun to watch people like Nick, who's now a Workman Success coach. He's not only a client, he's also a coach, change the nature of how he does things. When we talk about building a referral, I met this guy last week at the RE/MAX convention. And, you know, John is a great guy because he doesn't believe in SMART goals like I don't believe in SMART goals. He believes in stupid goals. And I'll talk more about that later. John decided he wanted to be the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. Like, I want you to think about that. Who sets a goal like that? He lives in a little place in Belize where there's 25,000 people, and he thinks he wants to be #1 in the world. Like, come on. Who sets a goal like that? What kind of an idiot thinks that that's even possible? Well, Turley says I'm going to do it, but I can't do it doing the business the way I do it. I have to sell more than 1 house a day. And so what he did is he started reaching out to all the top agents all over the country, inviting him to come to Belize. They paid $3,000 to understand how real estate works on Belize. And if they went through his $3,000 boot camp where he took them on boats and went around to the great places, taught about real estate, then on Monday he would do 30-minute appointments with them and they would write offers, and he would write multiple offers at the end of the 30 days. He did it with high net worth individuals and he did it with high net worth agents. And agents that were learning about Belize ended up buying some of his best clients, and look at it where his ranking is, #1. It was really cool to see him at the conference. He had taken a young guy under his wing. He just hit #2 this year, international RE/MAX agent in the world, and also working in a small community in Belize. I love stupid goals. Stellar service I'll talk more about that, I promise. Stellar service, guys, creates stellar success. We don't have the right to ask for referrals unless we deliver 5-star service. We have to over deliver. We cannot show up, fog a mirror, and then show up at the closing table when they see how much we get paid and hope they're not offended by the amount of money we make. We have to deliver so much service that when they see us get paid, they go, that's all? I want you to think about that. The whole thing with the class action lawsuit is because the weak agents out there not delivering client expectations and getting overpaid for the services they provide. Everyone's addressing the wrong problem. The real problem is that most agents do 5 transactions to 7 transactions a year. They make 50 grand and they're just not good at it. And when you're not an expert at something and you charge expert dollars, there's a disconnect in the value you provide because you don't have any expertise and what the client expects for how much they're paying. The real problem is we aren't experts. And so you have to listen intensely, listen to understand, not to respond. You're not trying to overcome objections. You're trying to clearly see where they are so you can provide options that put them in the best position to move forward. Number 2 is we communicate clearly. Communication is one of the biggest issues with real estate agents. They say, well, I never heard from my agent. Well, okay. Is that okay, you guys?
No, sir.
No. And then we got to exceed expectations. We have to be on time. We have to be on budget. And we have to have integrity. I love having so much integrity with my client. I'll tell my clients that, look, I'll always tell you the truth. Like, if I think the market is giving us feedback to your home is overpriced, I'm going to tell you the truth. You can choose what to do with the information, but I'm never going to lie to you. And I'm never going to tell you to do something because of how it benefits me. I don't care. I want to make sure that we do the right thing for you. And so in order to do that, in order to provide 5-star service, anything you do 3 times in your business, you must create a system for it. Systems. Sorry, I need a drink. I'm talking too much. Okay, so we provide great systems. Anything we do 3 times, we create a system for it. Like everything. So whether it's following up the clients, whether it's staying in touch, whether it's during the transaction process, everything we create a system for. And CINC has all of the tools and resources to systematize those workflows in the back office. You shouldn't be thinking about, oh, do I need to go buy a Asana? The answer is no, just use your CINC platform. There are so many tools and resources that are underutilized by people. You don't know the tools live there. Okay. The next thing is when you're delivering a high level of service, we hire and we fire to our core values. Agents that will not be aligned with you in your core values should not be on your team. I love that. If I said that clear enough. Agents who are not aligned with you in your values should not be on your team. These are my core values at Workman. Choose to be happy, communicate openly and honestly, have and share vision, integrity always, live with passion, live freely. Not just say thank you, but show gratitude. And then we persist until we succeed. I loved yesterday in our company meeting, one of our operations managers did a thing on showing gratitude, and he handed out thank you cards to everybody on the team and asked us all to write a card to somebody. And he talked about what we do to show gratitude instead of just say gratitude. And so I wrote my wife a note. And I just wrote a note to my wife. It's not our anniversary. It's not our birthday. I've been married 38 years. And I just said how grateful I am that she's in my life, that allows me to do what I do, and how much I love her. And you know what? Without somebody on my team reminding me that that's one of my core values at a company meeting, I wouldn't have done that. Now, I haven't given this to her yet, but I will tonight. So we show gratitude, and then we persist until we succeed. We hire and we fire to our core values. When the agents sign off on your core values, it creates great client experiences. When someone doesn't follow up with a lead, I go back to my core values and say, okay, are we communicating openly and honestly if we don't follow up? Nope. Do we have integrity? When you say you'll follow up within 10 minutes of a lead coming in and you don't, is that integrity? No. Are we persisting till we succeed? No. Holy crap, we got some issues. We got 3 core values issues right here, which is one simple thing of not following up. Live freely means that we live debt-free, which means you need to make enough money to pay your bills. By not following up with leads, is that going to help you live freely? No, it's not. And so we use our core values to then train and hire and develop our people. We use core values for everything as a team. I want you to think about that. Most of you set up your core values. You can't even tell me what they are. It was part of your business plan, but it wasn't part of your DNA that weaves everybody together. And I want you to change that. Let's do it. Okay. Take a breath.
I love I love that, bro. I mean, that's to me, so many people get lost that other agents look to the person beside them right and left and they compare themselves to that person too. So if someone is not, going toe to toe with their, life expectancy, whether it's how they're working or anything that they're representing on the business, you're gonna kind of that's gonna, kind of disseminate through the team. So yeah, it's one you would hope everyone does live by, but
Absolutely. But um, if you don't say them out loud, you don't put it
yeah.
as part of your DNA. It's not part of your huddles. We don't weave the core values into our DNA, then they don't do it,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
makes it difficult.
yeah, I need to trust me. I need to write 2 notes to my wife. So, I've
My
already,
core values are sitting on my desk. We had 2 new employees start this week in their welcome packet. They get our core values. Like this is not a, it's not a hope they do it thing. This is like
yes, sir.
who we are.
Love it.
All right. So the next is the fortune is in the follow up. Rule number 6 is we follow up. We follow up. Did I mention that we follow up? We follow up. Like I'm going to give you the A, B's, and C's of lead follow up. I'm going to give them right to you right now. They're in the book. The A lead is somebody you have an appointment with. We teach our clients that when they go out and show properties on a Saturday, if the client doesn't write an offer, then we set the appointment for the following week. An appointment's not, I'll call you next week and see if we can find something. An appointment is you want to get together at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Like you set the appointment. We always set the next appointment. If you don't have an appointment with them, they move to a B lead. An A lead is someone who's ready to buy or sell, and we have an appointment. You understand what an A lead is? Faye, an A lead is somebody we have an appointment with. You with me? Yeah, okay. And the B leads are not ready to go for 30 to 90 days. When we communicate with them, we give them property specific information. They're 30 to 90 days out. They're looking at neighborhoods. They're looking at homes. It's property specific information. We call them twice a month. We call them during the weeks that the 1st falls in and the weeks that the 15th falls in. And so we call them twice a month during the weeks of the 1st and the 15th, and we do it as a team. We follow up. A C lead, and by the way, what do you say to a B lead when you call them? Here's what I say, Troy. I say, hey, Troy, this is Verl. I'm just calling to make sure I'm not dropping the ball. Have you been getting the properties I'm sending you? Is there anything you want me to change in your search? Do you see that one over on Keswick that had the extra 2-car garage out back besides the 3-car? I was just thinking about you and all your need for your extra vehicles and thought that might be a good option. Did you take a look at that? We're going to have property specific information. Oh, by the way, it's going to be open on Saturday. I thought I'd run you by there. You want to meet me over there at 1 o'clock? I want to move a B lead from a B to an A by setting a what? An appointment. Okay. So B leads are, we call twice a month during the weeks that the 1st falls in and the 15th falls in. C leads, we're going to call once a month during the week of the 8th. And we're going to give them market general information. Here's where rates are. Here's what average sales dates are. Here's what absorption rates are. Here's what's going on in your market generally, not property specific information because they're not looking at houses yet. And so we're giving them information to help them become more interested in the marketplace. I might give them investment opportunities. I might share with them VRBOs. I might show with them what a cash on cash return means when we make an investment. If you went into your database and you asked your entire database, how many of you, if the right deal came along in real estate that would be cash flow positive, would be interested? How many people do you think would respond with, yeah, I think I'd like to buy an investment property? I'd say most. So even though they're not transacting right now, if you ask the right questions and you give them information that puts them in a position where they have a choice, many of them are going to choose to invest. And so just think about finding opportunities where other people aren't looking. Call them once a month during the week of the 8th. We work our sphere of influence on the week of the 22nd, and we follow up. So we work our sphere on the week of the 22nd. So you notice the 1st and the 15th always fall in different weeks. The week of the 8th falls in a different week. Week of the 22nd falls in different weeks. We systematize our follow-up. And by systematizing the follow-up, people do not fall through the cracks. On another webinar, I'll teach about a system we use called double looping, which is just freaking awesome. Okay. Remember, when you follow up with anybody who gives you a referral, you always show gratitude. You make a referral introduction. You let them know that when they give you a testimonial or a raving review, you'd like to be able to ask for referrals from them when you deliver 5-star service. And then you show gratitude. Send them movie tickets, do something, whether they buy or not. When someone sends you a referral, show gratitude. Don't just say thanks. I like to say my boat runs on gas, not thanks. Like show some gratitude. Put 20 bucks in the tank.
Bro, I know I've told Nate this. I believe I've told you. One of the things that y'all sent me many, many moons ago was like the octopus. And my baby girl who's 5 now, I think she was 2 or maybe about to turn 3. Anyway, like, that stays in her book bag, right? Like, she loved it. It was like a little stuffed animal for a kid, and that it's crazy how like the little things go a long way. So
That was Teeny. That was our
Yep.
team mascot. Teeny, 8 legs. It's when you wish you had more legs. You can't get it all done. That was
yeah,
Teeny. I love
yeah.
Teeny. That's funny you remember that. I love Jillian says we make a donation to a charity and then we send them flowers. Like that gratitude of showing gratitude is so much better than just saying, dude, thanks for the referral. Like show it. Don't
Yeah.
just. All right. I gave you some trackers. This is out of things. I changed my slide order for a second, but when I talked about the top 50, one of the things I'm going to give you in your downloads is I'm going to give you the top 50 tracker where you can do your top 50 businesses, top 50 agents, top 50 referral lists. On the top 50 initiatives, the things you can do, it's how you track it. And so I want you to use my tracker, even though you have a CINC database and you're using a CINC to be able to follow up with people, because I need you to see who your top 50 is a certain way so we can develop the habits that you use long-term inside your database. So just do it my way for a while until we start making massive changes, and then I'll let you run it in your CINC database. Everybody okay with that? All right, so the 4 sources of raving referrals are your clients, your social sphere, complementary businesses and professionals, and your top 50. These are your biggest sources of referrals or raving referrals. One of the things we're going to do for all of you is we're going to help you activate those databases by teaching you how to do it inside the Raving Referrals for Real Estate book. Brandon, my co-author, is the CEO of HOA.com, and they're launching a whole program nationwide right now where agents can become the trusted advisor in an HOA, and then they put the list of their trusted partners together, and they co-market to each other's databases. And they build community around the HOA instead of policing your neighbors, instead of creating somebody like nobody loves their HOA. We are on a mission to change the way people communicate with each other. We want HOAs to be a place where the community comes together, not a place where we police our neighbors for parking 2 cars in the driveway during a holiday. Like we're going to try and make Karen popular again as a name. I think that. All right.
That's good.
Troy, let me see what time it is. All right, I want to go off on a tangent for a minute. I was on a podcast the other day, and somebody asked me the question. They said, "What did you learn most in writing the book?" And I said, "I learned that I'm a hypocrite." And they were like, "What? What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm writing this section in the book, and we're talking about setting smart goals. How many of you heard the term smart goals? Who can tell me what a smart goal is? Go in the chat and write it down." SMART is specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's timely. I think that's stupid because I don't think anybody ever accomplished anything great by setting attainable and realistic goals. Like, think about that. That's a bunch of sandbaggers who want to be winners, even though they didn't accomplish anything great. So they set an attainable, realistic goal. Like I remember being at the state fair selling hot tubs and setting my goal to sell 10 hot tubs. You know why? Because I knew I could hit it. And at the end of the fair, I sold 10 hot tubs. And then I run into the cow spa guy and I'm like, "Hey, how many hot tubs you guys sell?" He said 100. I'm like, "What the crap?" They had different experiences, and so they set different goals. We're at the same fair selling to the same people, but mine were realistic and attainable. And so I set stupid goals, and I got a 10. Like, I'm telling you what, I do not believe we should ever be hitting our goals. I think our goals should be so far out that we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones to try and accomplish them. And the moment we get close, we should move the goal and make it higher. Like when I think about some of the great people in the world, Roger Bannister, who set the 4-minute mile. Do you know he was told by his coach that the human body is not designed scientifically to ever run faster than 4 minutes in a mile? And he finally broke the record. And then within the next year, 16 or 18 more people broke the 4-minute mile. That was not attainable or realistic. He was told it was unachievable. The Wright brothers, I think we're going to fly. And so they set goals to do that. Put wings on a bicycle and ride off a cliff. That is not attainable or realistic. Those people were crazy, stupid goals. Michael Phelps. I love Michael Phelps because a lot of people think I look like him when I'm in my Speedo. And so, like, Here's Michael Phelps, right? So Michael Phelps, when he is 15 years old, he makes the Olympic team. Do you know that you're more likely to win 4 Super Bowls in the same year than to make an Olympic team at 15? And then when he got there, he says, I think I'd like to earn 8 gold medals. It's physically not possible. He set a stupid goal. Here's my acronym for stupid, Troy. You ready? It's got to
Right.
be strategic. What do we want to accomplish? It needs to be transformational. How does it change my life and the lives of my children? It needs to be completely unrealistic. No more attainable, realistic goals. I want it to be purpose driven. I want to know who you're playing for. What is the why behind it? And then I want it to be innovative and dynamic and constantly changing. When I think of the 15-year-old Michael Phelps getting on the Olympic team and then going and winning gold medals, it is not flipping achievable. My new platform, everybody, every time I talk, I'm going to talk about stupid goals. Like, how many of you are tired of like attainable, realistic goals? I remember going to my fifth grade. I'm going to my fifth grade son's parent teacher conferences, and my son was struggling. He had dyslexia. He had attention deficit. He's clearly my son. Like, we all struggle from the same things, psychologically unemployable, that kind of stuff. And so I'm there with a fifth grade teacher, and my son has needs improvement in all these areas on his report card. And teacher says, "What are your goals?" He says, I want to get very good. I want to be the best in every category." And she said, "Well, Nate, I think that's a really good goal, but I think maybe we should be a little bit more realistic."
Hmm.
I pulled my kid out of that class so fast because I never want, like, who are we to tell one of God's children that they can't do something? I think that our job is to help people achieve greatness in their lives, whatever that looks like. I don't think it's okay to tell someone they can't do something. I want stupid goals. Jillian, we're doing stupid goals. You down? She's down. Okay, we're going to do strategic, transformational, unrealistic, purpose-driven, innovative, dynamic. When we get close to accomplishing, we're going to change them because I'm not doing any smart goals anymore. It's not a good way of looking at things. It's the only way to look at things going forward. Like, think about this. He set a goal to win 8 gold medals in a single year. The most was ever 7 by Mark Spitz. How unlikely was it? It's like a basketball player averaging 100 points in every game for an entire season. It's the same as a soccer player getting a hat trick in 8 straight World Cup finals. It's a golfer winning all 4 majors in the same year twice. It is so unrealistic, and yet he went out and he absolutely did it. It's not that it's impossible. It's that you haven't figured out how to do it yet. In 2008, I want to know, what is Michael Phelps doing now? Like, he's no longer racing. What he did is he has dynamic goals. We have different seasons in our lives, and in our different seasons in our lives, we have different goals. Like, what Jillian's goals were 2 years ago were different from her goal. I only know Jillian because I'm coaching her. And so I only know what her goals are today. Her goals are, how do I give more money away? How do I change more lives of the people I'm serving on my team? It's not how do I earn more, because she's already done that. We're not figuring out how to sell houses. We're figuring out how to change people's lives. So I want you to think about this. Michael Phelps now in 2008 established the Michael Phelps Foundation, which provides learn to swim, healthy living, goal setting curriculum worldwide. I love his goal setting curriculum. I promise you he's not teaching smart goals. Through Boys and Girls Clubs of America. He's provided swimming commentary for Olympians and mentors and emerging swimmers. And in 2023, he launched Chili Goat Tubs. It's a brand specializing in the cold plunge. Now, I don't know who in their right mind would do that, but people that do it absolutely love it because it changes their physiology. It makes them feel better about the day. I have a hot tub. Why do I want a cold one? But it doesn't matter. It's a great goal. And I love he's calling it Chili Goat, just because it's a stupid name for a stupid goal. And you're probably going to help a lot of people worldwide do great things with his stupid goals. How many of you have a stupid goal you want to pronounce to the world right now? Go into the chat box right now and give me your stupid goal. I want to hear some stupid goals. Who's got something that is like massive that they want to do, that is unrealistic, that is not comfortable, that makes them feel like, oh my gosh, I need to do something better and bigger with my life than I'm currently doing. And I promise you, you can't do it by doing what you've done today. We got to do it completely different going forward. I need the book. Come on, give me some goals. Go in the chat and give me some goals. I need some goals. I want a great goal. A closing a week. That's great. That's a good goal, Stacy. I want a closing a day. What does that look like? Retire in the Mediterranean by when? How about retire in the Mediterranean, not ever worry about money again so I can give a bunch away? I want to help the homeless. You got to quantify it. How many people do you want to go from homeless to helping them have homes? I will help 1,000 homeless people get homes. I want to pay off my $228,000. Okay, all right, I'm going to give you something, Nancy. I'm going to give you a methodology to accomplish this because you gave me a great goal. Nancy gave me a goal of I want to pay off my $228,000 house in 5 years in Delaware. Nancy, let me ask you a question. I'm going to have you go into chat. I want you to answer these questions as I give them to you. Number one, first of all, is that a like crazy stupid goal, paid off in 5 years? I think it is. I think it's a good one. Okay. Now, what if I told you you had to do it in 6 months, or the life of one of your children depended on it? How would you work differently? Is there any way you fail to hit that $228,000 payoff? You see, it's not that things aren't possible. It's that we don't frame them in the right perspective and we don't work like our life depends on it. The difference between average and exceptional is not a high level of execution of the basic fundamentals. It's having the attitude and the willingness to put in the work to be a champion. John Neighbor, one of the first Olympians to receive a bunch of gold medals. He's the president of USA Olympians. He got 4 gold medals in swimming and 3 silvers in the same Olympics the same year that Mark Spitz won 8. And I asked John Neighbor, we built a program called Team USA Coaching. I said, John, who do you coach? And this has kind of stuck with me for my entire career. He says, have you ever seen a kid with a puppy on a leash at the park and that puppy's pulling that kid through the park and they can barely hold on? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that. He goes, I coach that puppy. He says, if I have to put meat in front of your nose, or if I have to kick you along, or if I have to motivate you, I don't have the energy to be able to coach you. You have to want it for yourself more than I want it for you, and I'll be a guide in the process. People ask me all the time, who do we coach at Workman? That's who we coach. If you're a puppy on a leash, if you are like, you're capable of doing more, you're afraid of what's coming in the marketplace, and you want to message to your clients better, you want to build a business of highly profitable agents and teams, then reach out to Workman Success. Schedule a strategy session, and let me help you figure out how to get there. And I'll send you a free copy of the book. This is also when you sign up for this, inside the book. Once you buy the book, there's a QR code inside the book that allows you to get and download unbelievable resources and tools that are being provided by Brandon and myself. You'll go to that QR code, you'll download. Once you buy the book, you get a copy of this QR code. There's about $3,000 worth of additional value there. I want you to know that success is predictable. And just like average is, and you get to choose where you want to be. I want to thank you all for being here, and I hope that this has been valuable to you. I hope that you got a few good nuggets that will help move the needle. The book's like $10, Diana. It's not about how much the book. I'm gonna give you a free book with a strategy session. You can buy the Kindle version for $2. It's not about the money. Like, it's will you do the work? Are you willing to put in the work? It's $19.99. It's half price on Amazon right now. So go ahead and do it. It's already a bestseller. Like, the book for me is, it's a calling card to give you a taste of what it looks like to work with someone at Workman. And there's so many stories of clients and people who we've impacted their lives and they impacted many others. Let me take just a second, Troy, and I'll just open up the call for the last couple of minutes to any questions. Yeah. And thank you. Thanks for letting me go off today on stupid goals. I hope you all have some. Was that fun or what?
Love it, brother. Love the energy. Love the topic. You know, my favorite is Steve Spurrier. He always said when he coached Duke, you know, if Duke went into the year and said that their goal wasn't to win a national championship, that there was one thing for certain: they weren't going to win no national championship.
That's right.
So, I love it.
I love all the comments. You're all very welcome. I love being here. I love what I do. I get up every day, and I hope that I get I impact one person's life in one way or another. And so hopefully today there's been a nugget or something that you can do that will make a difference. And I appreciate you being here. You know, the other thing is, and let me tell you this, is that when CINC puts on these webinars, they invest heavily in the marketing and the getting the right speakers and getting people put together. Let me ask you to just give them the courtesy of a demo. Look at what they do. Understand how their program works. We have so many high-performing clients that use CINC as the cornerstone. The relationship is the center of everything you have and do in your business. So set up a consult, give them a shot, and see how they can transform your business. And that's my CINC plug. They didn't ask me to say that.
I'm gonna say thank you, brother. You said it there, not you're the best, man.
Appreciate everybody. I'm on the last hour of a 5-hour energy, so I got one more hour of go hard.
I love it. I love it. And it was great seeing all the comments and the value you bring. I'm sure that this will lead to a couple more strategy sessions later for you guys, and we'll be sharing that. And we can't thank you enough for giving that community, and even the thought of guys that are seat clients. Like, we have a community here that reach out to folks in other areas and get to know them, and create your top 50. I mean, that was my takeaway, was the 3221, as well as SRO and creating the top 50. I mean, I love those thoughts to run any business through, and appreciate you sharing that, my man.
All right, it's my pleasure. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. We'll see you all out there.
Awesome. Bye, guys.